All right, guys, we're going to continue here with this debate. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're going to just put, if you want to just listen to the video without my commentary, links in the description down below. That way you guys can go to the content creator or original content creator and just show support as well. Let's jump in, guys.
When I say men, I'm talking about sex. I'm not talking about those who identify as men. I'm talking about the sex specific of men.
That wasn't the question.
Yes, it was the question.
Asking if you were
said
talking
the gender.
about species, us as a species.
Are men and women a different species?
No, it's like
I think she just utilized the word gender, but in terms of your position, Andrew, I think she meant the same thing that you would say in terms of
The
sex.
reason I'm really clear, I'm very clear about this for a reason.
We'll use men as a you know, as a stand-in for our species, as the human species. They will say men.
That's true, or mankind, or things like this.
Sure,
yeah, I agree.
That is what I was asking.
Yeah, sure.
I was asking.
I'm willing to grant on the era specific, what you're talking about, that could be the case when they're also referencing women when they say mankind. I can even agree to that. But the reason I'm not willing to grant something like gender, or you saying, do you mean the gender of men, is because that has a loaded meaning. So I'm going to semantically distinguish between the two and say my meaning of man has nothing to do with gender, but has to do with sex. That's all.
Okay, that's fine.
Smart about it.
Okay, good.
Very smart.
Okay, so I'm ready for the queries. What do you guys got?
Let's go.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Well, first, I would like to say that I was not invoking the myth of the noble savage. I am quite aware that some indigenous tribes of the Americas were, in fact, quite brutal. And this, in fact, kind of ties into the point that I made, that when you employ the force doctrine, you will always be subject to it yourself at some point. The sacking of...
We agree, but we agree.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I agree with you 100% that all people are subject to force doctrine, that is a descriptor for how the world works, including me, including you, including Marte, including Sarah, including everybody.
Can I make sure we get one element of this correct? You say that is
this simp, man. He's just notice that he's jumping in and Marte here on the corner. He just allowing Andrew to do his thing. Very interesting.
The world works. In your mind, is that how the world works in different to any kind of human
irrelevant to the conversation,
ability to make our own decisions? In other words, are we able to evolve beyond that reality, or is it your assessment
what you're talking
that is just a fact of nature?
I'll answer your question. What you're talking about is the idea of what is socially constructed versus what is material reality. When I ask you, sir, what is a right, what is it?
It's a social contract.
It's going to depend very much on the definition.
Yes, I'm asking for your definition. What's a right?
What is a right to me?
Yeah, go ahead.
My rights begin where yours end.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me what a right is. That just, it tells me the application you would use for what a right is. What is a right? It does.
A right is basically applied evenly across all people, or it is not an equal right.
That doesn't tell me what a right is. What is a right?
A right is something that you have a right to.
Oh my God!
As a human being,
you're using the word, dude.
He really came to this debate unprepared. A right is just simply an agreement in a social contract between individuals, right? That we think that's just pertinent to be protected. I mean, like in this, could be just be doing in a form of political republic or democratic processes, or simply a tribe, right? A right for a tribe could be simply just having a family, being protected. That's probably their right, based on that collective tribe. It's just a social construct, and a bunch of ideas on a social contract that are protected by force.
Word to describe the word. If I asked you what a man is, and you said a man is somebody who's a man, would that give me any?
Why are we getting bogged down with semantics? I don't see how this is relevant.
Okay, do you understand that?
I thought we were talking about taking land by force.
I'm sorry. Did he bring up rights? If he brings up rights, I have every business. It's my business.
This is why you guys don't simp. Look at that. Look at this. She lost respect for her own teammate. This is why you guys don't simp, guys. This is a good example.
If he brings up rights,
I don't care about this guy. Whatever. The simp right here jumping, defending her, and she lost respect for him. I don't give a damn. Well, whatever.
I have every business. It's my business to ask him what he means by a right. And if he says what
Such a
I mean by a
reputable
right
man.
is anything I consider to be a right,
Andrew,
then
why
that's
do you
important
have-
for the
Why
debate.
do you have a right to
Don't
vote?
ask me a question, answer it. What is a right?
I can ask a question.
You can
in
after you
response to the
answer mine.
question
What
if
is
it
a
gets
right?
to the question.
What is
But
a
I think
right?
it would
No-
be helpful in terms of the debate, because we are talking about taking property per se. It is valuable to
Which you
have
think
the
you have a right
definition
to.
and
You think you have a
which
right
I
to
think it's-
property. That's why I want to know what a right is. What is a right? What is it, dude?
You are owed it on the basis of your humanity.
No. What?
You're owed what?
Proper
This is
treatment
crazy,
of some
bro.
kind.
What
It
does
could be
that
a number of
mean,
different
though?
things.
Do you see what I mean? Like, that doesn't
getting
tell us what
My
it
God,
is.
it's
That could be a
society
right to vote,
dependent, dude.
a right
it's,
to
it's things
exist.
that we are guaranteed.
Yeah,
You're
but the
okay.
right.
Could be,
I understand you may have a right to exist. You may have a right
have
to
a
have
right
an
to not answer
abortion.
your
You may have a
stupid
right to all
He can
sorts of.
simply just answer the question by saying it's just privileges that are granted within an agreement of society. It's a privilege granted because society agreed to these privileges and they are protected by force. But he's not going to answer that because he didn't do his homework.
Things. That doesn't tell me what a right is, though. What is
Okay,
a
but
right
why don't you
itself?
tell us, Andrew? Why don't
Why
you
do I
tell
need to
us?
That's a
tell you
trap.
what your
That's a
fucking
trap.
definition of a thing is, Chuck?
Because you're complaining. You're
Let me
complaining
ask,
right now.
I need to
Why
know.
don't you tell us
Okay,
so we
listen,
can work with
Chuck,
your
Chuck,
definition?
Chuck,
I'm
listen,
trying to work with you right now.
Chuck,
Why don't you tell us what
I-
your
I'm trying-
definition
I'm trying to work with
Charlie
Chuck. I'm
and
trying to work with
gentlemen,
you,
hold on
Chuck.
just a second. Christopher and Charlie, would you be agreeable that you think a right is a social construct of some sort?
There we go.
Yeah.
What is
Okay,
it?
let's start there.
What the fuck is it?
Would
When
like
you
to
say
take a
right, what
look
does
at
that mean?
Oxford Dictionary.
I'm gonna guess it means a different.
You can't.
thing
I
than
don't care what
think.
you look up. You could take your time and look up what you think a right is. Just tell us what a right is, so at least we're on the same page.
I mean, I told you. It's something that you are owed on the basis of your humanity.
Oh my
Okay.
god, this is so low
Yeah,
IQ.
it doesn't.
My god,
It just.
this is so low
It's
IQ,
like-
It is a
guys. I don't know
social
if I'm gonna make
construct.
this.
Yeah?
it
I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
It's a very influx thing. It depends on where the fuck you are.
So you have a right to not be stolen from, but it's very influx and subjective, and we're not really sure about it. Is that
So
right?
it's conditional, made up.
So it's conditional. We just made
I
it
mean,
up.
it can depend on the country that you're in, but it is a
So
social
so
construct,
so,
yes.
so then theft itself is a social construct.
I mean, everything's a social construct.
If ever, yeah, wait, no. I'm sorry. Is a tree a social construct?
The word tree is all right.
Is a tree a social construct, not the word tree?
A tree.
Yeah, is a tree a social construct?
Why the fuck are we talking about trees?
Yeah,
Because
you're
you just
losing the
said
argument
everything
already.
is a social construct. Is that an accurate statement, or did you just make that up?
No,
too?
I see you do this. I watch some of your debates and you do this all the time. You don't actually address the fucking discussion. You bog people down on semantics.
What
It's
I
like
do
Ishkalop or
here's
some
what I,
bullshit.
here's what I do.
Can we
What I do
talk
is go
about
after the
subject at
pillar.
fucking hand?
Yeah,
Can we
I'm going
talk
after the
about
pillar of your
subject at
view.
hand? Which is no, you're not. You are arguing semantics.
I'll tell you what.
because You don't want to make an actual argument.
tell you what.
What is your argument?
I'll tell you what. Go ahead and tell me the thing that you want to get to, and I'll show you how the pillar of what we're talking about is semantically based. Go ahead. Whatever it is.
Pillar of the argument, like what we're in.
I guarantee it. You're concerned. You're upset. You think that white people stole all the Indians' land. That's your big contention, right? But you have no concept of what fucking theft is. So why shouldn't I go after the pillar of that? Why shouldn't I go after the pillar of that if you have no concept of what a right or theft even is? Why should I listen to a fucking word you have to say, Chuck? Can you explain it to
Yeah,
me, Chuck?
yeah.
Use really small
Listen, guys.
words.
Do
Listen,
not-
guys. English is not my first language, right? I'm Puerto Rican, right? Although we're supposed to speak both languages correctly, I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Not even with Spanish, guys. But beside that, I can understand what Andrew's saying. I can follow him. I can just, like sort of like follow his line of logic easily. Now, my opinion of this is that they want to ignore Andrew's points and questions because automatically it's gonna dismantle the worldview, and I don't think they have even thoughts about these terms or this kind of topics deeply to just go with Andrew. How do I know this? Because this guy right here in the left corner here, he couldn't even describe something as close as to define what the right was. And this right here is going. I can guarantee you guys. I haven't watched this debate. This is gonna dismantle the debate. At this point on, I can guarantee you, Andrew's gonna just wipe the floor with these people.
Know what the definition?
I don't know
of
what your
theft is?
definition of the word theft is because you
Are
just
you
said
a
it's a
baby?
social
Are you a
construct.
moron?
Oh, geez, Chuck, you really
Do you
got me
not
with
have
that.
a dictionary? Like, I don't understand, dude.
You
Why
just
are you
said
asking
that
about
theft is a
basic word
social.
definitions,
You
dude?
Chuck,
This is
you-
not debating,
I
man.
think-
This is
I
not
think-
debating. This
so
is
Chuck-
Raising tomato.
so
They
Chuck,
have to
what you just
define-
said-
For
Grade.
just
This
a
is
moment,
kindergarten,
allow
baby
Chuck,
boy.
what you
Like,
just-
I'm not interested in this.
Okay.
I am
Okay.
not interested
kindly
in
for
this.
everybody.
Then run,
to
Chuck.
stop for
Then
just
run
a
away.
second,
Rage quit,
please.
Chuck.
I'm
If you
not
don't
gonna
mind,
rage quit, buddy.
if you
I'm
don't
not
mind, if you don't mind, thank you. Okay, I do find it very vital in order to get to a foundation. If we disagree on what a word means, then we're not going to be able to have the topic or the argument at hand anyways. So I do find it
So
very
here, look,
vital
I'll
to
just
get-
make this
Okay.
super clear,
Andrew,
crystal
just
clear.
like
I'll give you my
Andrew.
position. I'll give you my position so that you can attack my position. My position is this. You just got done saying to me, Andrew, theft is a social construction. Everything's a social construct. Rights are social constructs. Theft is social constructs. All of that is socially constructed and societally dependent. So how could you make a claim that even if white people came here and put every Indian to the sword because they thought it was really fucking fun, they took their kids up and they chopped their fucking heads off for fun. They made them into little Indian shishka fucking bob. They were like, they shishka bobbed up all the Indian kids. How could you even say that's immoral, Chuck? If it's just culturally dependent and just up to the culture, what the fuck is actually immoral about it, Charles? What?
Because we have to live together.
Oh my
'Cause we have to
god.
live. We don't have to live together, Charles. Chuck, do we have to live together?
Kill each other. We could all die.
We don't have to even kill
But
each
that would
other.
be stupid.
We don't. No, not only
For
do
our
we not have to
species
kill each other,
survive, for our species to survive.
This
and
is
to
crazy,
function,
bro.
Our
yes,
species
we
can
must do
survive
basic
fine without
nice
living with
things
each
to
other. Yeah, why does
No
our
standards,
species?
conditions,
Yeah.
conditional, all the way through. No standard, no base, no grounding, nothing. This is crazy.
Yeah, you
The
just
question
said.
that I have, given what you've just said, which was addressed in my opening statement, and I'd like to get to it because I think this is actually vital to the point, is your argument that because the European settlers found it necessary to eliminate the Native
Yeah, no,
Americans
no,
in
that's
order
not what
to
I'm saying.
claim their land because they felt threatened by certain tribes, that at that point in time it was not immoral?
No, of course not. So I have a universal concept of morality. But the problem here is like we're starting off the query with an internal critique. I think it's fine for you to internally critique what we think as well. But as we start the query for the internal critique, I don't understand this view where you claim, you and Chuck, that these are social constructions, rights are completely fictitious and made up, and theft is completely fictitious and made up, and yet somehow we're supposed to apply this standard to what happened with the natives. Tell me why the fuck we should do that if it's all just made up, dude.
What do you mean made up?
Because
That's
it's
a
how
question.
You
we
made
live.
it up out of your what? Okay, so this is
No, I
why.
mean, history
This is okay.
happened.
Hang on. You see how
We
you
have
said?
a social contract.
Hang on.
see,
Do you
see.
see why you just
Have
said? Hang on.
concepts
Hang on.
that
Let me
we all
let me
agree
answer his
upon
question,
and
Chuck.
act by.
Yeah.
Let me answer his question. So he asked a question. It's a good query. What do you mean by made up? You see how you're asking for semantics? That's smart. right?
Exactly.
What I mean by made up is that from your view, rights completely fictitious. They come out of your mind. You make them up out of thin air. They're a product purely of the mind. They exist nowhere in material reality. So, like, let me ask you this. Can you touch a right? Can you taste it? Can you smell it? Can you see it? Where is it?
You can't. You
Show me
can't.
a right. Show me one. Can either of you do that?
It is a concept that we have come
It
up
is
with.
a concept.
Exactly. That's it. End of the debate. That's it. Close it. That's it. She conceded.
All agree upon that we all
conceded,
agree
that's it.
upon.
Do we all agree upon them? Like, do you agree upon the concept that I have a right to own a RPG?
God, I don't think that we have that right.
Yes, we do.
don't
Well,
think we
yeah,
all
I know. So
agree
we
on
don't
that.
agree on the concepts then, I guess,
Yes,
do we?
we do.
It's almost
Technically,
like
we do.
have like a semantic argument here that we need to get through because like we totally like don't
Okay,
agree on
here,
what rights
listen
are.
to me. Listen to me. Listen.
Okay, let's listen. Let's listen.
I believe that we have social contracts that we adhere to because we
Okay.
want to survive as a species. And we
Okay.
understand that the survival of our species is good. It is good for us to be alive. And
I understand.
to
I can grant that.
harmony with each other. Correct. Like I don't like bad
Yeah.
things to happen. I think, right? We all agree. We like
Okay.
I guess
If it
so.
is the case then that you believe in social contracts, what's wrong with having a social contract of might makes right?
because it is not conducive to the survival of our species.
How is it not conducive to the survival of our species? It seems like it would be just fine to live under an empire. It seems like it would be just fine to live under these things. It seems like we would survive just fine. Why wouldn't we
know,
survive under
last
empires?
super
We've
long.
survived traditionally under empires. What are you talking about? Tell
I
me
think
why
we're always talking.
why
We're
is it
always
that
talking.
if
Charlie's making.
Oh my
hang
God,
on, hang on.
bro.
Let me
You would
finish the
survive
query.
so
Let me
well.
finish the question.
Yo, he just jumping in. We used to call this in sales, me and a friend of mine, the double dragon, right? Double dragon means that when a customer is just going back and forward and locked in with you, you will come in and then disrupt the conversation. It's like a refresh, right? And then their aggressiveness will go down. Well, what they're trying to do now is a double dragon, right? I call it a double dragon. It's team up to go against Andrew. However, here's the point. Andrew, and this a lot of you guys say, man, why is Andrew debating with these dumbass in the Water podcast? You know why? They're very disingenuous. It's a great way for you to practice. The best way for you to practice is with very disingenuous people. You want to get so good that when you get to a point that you are even destroying with arguments, right? A very disingenuous person, you get better. Of course, controlling your emotions. And this is what Andrew is doing right now. This is why he's very good at what he does. He understands what they're doing. He understands that both of them are trying to jump in. They understand there's a sisterhood here. Even he's a man. There's a sisterhood code here. There's a code here that the man is always have to protect the women. And he already knows that. And you see here Marte, he's just backing off. He's like, Andrew got this. I don't have to do anything. Andrew got this.
Why is it that if you had a social contract, then you believe in social contracts, we had a social contract for might makes right, that would somehow be bad? You love social contracts. Why would that be bad?
I'm sorry, restate that.
Why would it be bad to have a social
we have a
contract of
social-
might makes right?
How would that be the same
But
as
they're not
being
answering the
rude
question.
to each other and ensuring the survival?
How-
of
why
the
would you- why would
species
that mean
might
mean
makes
bad?
Right.
Yeah, when you say good is also the product of the mind, right?
Of course, yes, but we are talking about.
So then what's the issue
forceful
here?
Theft of land, which requires the displacement or the death of its original occupants. So when we discuss the
Original
colonization
occupants. And
of
by the way,
America,
Native Americans were not the original occupants. Native Americans, their roots come from Asia. They went from the Alaskas, right? All that region when everything was kind of, sometimes there's like an ice block that is formed in the North Pole between Alaska and Russia. They all cross over here and just they were settled here in the what we call now the Americas. So even them, they're not even. It's stupid. All this is stupid, ridiculous.
we are talking about 1500s. We have about 5 to 10 million. Sometimes they will estimate 55 million.
Yo, she's reading for ChatGPT.
Who
She's
mostly
reading
died
for
of
the
disease.
ChatGPT, guys.
Mostly died of disease, yes, that the Europeans brought, which wasn't intentional,
So
but
what?
was indeed a product.
Yeah, so what? That's
of-
like
of
everything.
us.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, Chuck. If it is the case, lady and gentlemen, if it is the case that the Europeans came in here and they wanted to make a shish kebab out of all the little Indian children,
What makes it wrong?
violates the social contract here that you're talking about? What social contract did the Europeans have with the
Because
Indians?
when you make shish kebabs of people's children, they will do that to yours, which has happened
did
historically.
they
What the
do it to
hell?
us, or did we just conquer all their shit and take it all?
No, they did definitely kill and scalp women and children. They did.
Oh, so then they
did.
weren't the.
Actually, I have some examples.
So we were defending ourselves?
So during the no, these were retaliatory
Sure, many people
attacks
thought
after
they were
land was
defending.
Oh, so you can retaliate. I didn't know that. You could retaliate?
I think in self-defense, yes, I believe in self-defense, certainly.
Oh my gosh.
So if you have
the Jamestown
okay,
massacre
great.
of
This is great.
1622
But if
in
you've
Virginia,
created
the
the-
Powhatan tribes killed approximately 400 settlers, including women and children. The Hutchinson massacre of 1643 in New York, Anne Hutchinson and her children were scalped, tortured, and scalped before they were killed. That was a Christian woman living alone with her children.
Damn.
The
Damn,
Pueblo Revolt of
savages.
1680 in New Mexico. Wow, that's something. 400 Spanish settlers killed, including
Well,
women,
I mean, they
children, and
killed a woman and her children. You don't think that that's savage?
I mean, you should read about what we did to the Native Americans.
Does that mean
the
that
way
you
we
can kill
raped
innocent
Yeah,
people?
you can grant that.
Does
What
that
I'm
mean
saying
you
is
can
that-
kill
She said that you can grant that. You can say, sure, I can grant that that probably some of the conquistadors or whatever, they deleted some of the natives. Is killing the woman with the kids, is that savage? So you go back to that, right? They're trying to obfuscate from the argument, and she doesn't agree with that. Her statement has no validation. It means nothing, right? The argument means nothing. That's why they do that.
innocent
You
people?
live by the sword, you die by the sword. When
I
you, as a man,
see.
here, listen.
I
you
see.
have-
That
you
sounds
have
an
a
awful
right.
lot like might makes right, lady. Sounds
He's
an
getting
awful lot like
destroyed
might
badly,
makes
guys.
right.
You like
I am
semantics and you
disagreeing
like to
with the
define words.
application of the force doctrine. I am
Hang on, can I-
disagreeing with the application of the force doctrine.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, all
good.
you're doing
I
is
think it
proving the
bad.
application of the force doctrine. All you're doing is proving it.
Marte, did you
Andrew,
want to jump
you-
in?
I was going to let First Amendment, Colt say something. What were you going to say, sir?
Yeah, no, I'm curious because Andrew previously wanted to know what a right is. I would like to know what Andrew's definition of right in
It's
the
an
might make
entitlement.
right is.
Entitlement absent duty is what I would consider.
Yeah,
a
right here. Rachel is saying something very important. She's saying, if your argument is that people have a right to something, but you can't tell us what the right even means, that's not semantic. That's you in big trouble. And this is what we can see now. She's trying to just move around to see if she can skip the question. She's not going to skip the question because until we get to that point that we can define what the right is, this is going to be, kind of back and forward and just trying to figure out semantics here. But they have to, guys. Because the problem is when you get into these debates, what I notice is if things are not defined correctly, our semantics are not taken care of, right at the beginning of the debate, what happened is they start moving out. They start becoming binaries. They start moving up and down. So, they never land the plane. They start using emotional argument just to get some kind of feeling that I'm winning the debate. You have to just make sure they can just define some of the argument. If they cannot define it, just look it up and just define it. Do you agree with that definition? Let's go with that definition. Okay. At that point, you can lock them in. But if they cannot see right now, they haven't defined what the right is, guys. They sort of went through it, kind of. It was not clear. But at this point, if we don't take care of the semantics, right, it's going to be one of those debates that we're going to just be jumping one topic after the other.
To be.
No, I mean, what would you consider? You keep using the phrase "might makes right."
No. You
You're
use
saying
the
you're
phrase.
not defending that, but I want to know what.
No,
you
I'm not
think the
defending it.
right
I'm showing you
is there.
via an internal critique why when you said the words "might make right,"
I never said
that
that.
makes. You
You
did
did.
in
You
your
did.
opening statement.
Bro, you did.
That's what you said in your opening
I said
statement. Colt.
actually, if you listened to my opening statement more closely, you would understand that I was saying that that's not the argument you're making. Do you want me to reread that part again?
Yes.
Let me find it. Hold on just a second.
Find the first time you mentioned it, though, not the second.
Hold on. I
See,
gotta do this.
see,
You guys
the thing
keep talking, but
I do this
until you have
awesome
something you wanna
thing
say while
where
I'm
I
looking.
take notes the entire time you guys are talking, so I make sure I don't mischaracterize what you're saying.
Yeah, that
So-
doesn't mean you take accurate notes.
That's true, but we're going to find out in a second when you pull it up, and we're going to find out that I am accurate and that you said my opponents believe in might makes right. You'll see for yourself, and then I'll be vindicated, and you're going to have to say that you're sorry. Are you gonna say you're sorry after you read it out?
The point that was made in the
You're
opening
not going to say you're
statement
sorry.
is
Not
that
gonna say
you're
sorry.
veiling that. You're saying that's not what you're saying, but it is actually at the root
How?
of everything that you're about.
No, I'm giving
Because
you a
what
descriptor.
you're saying is if I have a bigger gun than you, or bigger muscles than you, or a better army than you, that if I take your stuff as we look at it in the past, we can't make an argument that that was wrong because I was simply using the ability that I had to take what I felt that I
Yeah, tell me
needed
why
in the
it's
moment.
wrong.
That's what we're here to discuss.
Yeah, tell me why.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm asking you. Why is it wrong, bro?
Let's start
to the
there.
survival
What
of
do
our
you mean by wrong or
species.
right?
It's not
How is
conducive
it not conducive to the survival of our species?
So the
to
question
fucking
that I
kill
want to
and murder
know,
each other. It doesn't end
Exactly.
well.
First of all, it is indeed conducive to the survival of our species to kill and murder. Tell me descriptively how we ended up with less people via the murder of the Native Americans. Can you explain that to me? How did we end up with less? It seems to me, from the historic standard, how many people were alive then versus now?
you're getting far afield. I want to
The
stick to the
survival
point that
of
we're
one
talking
I don't
about.
think so.
It's
Her
not-
claim is
it's not
it's
beneficial.
conducive. How was it not beneficial? Seems like it was totally beneficial. What was unbeneficial about it?
The death of the millions. The
yeah.
People don't
destruction
care.
of
Maybe,
cultures
And
and
what-
you think these people really care about the leading Native Americans? Which I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree because they did it to us as well, right? They don't care about those things. They just want to play the high moral ground. These people are in favor of no robot, which is abortion. John. These people are in favor of that. You think they really care? Think about it, guys. If they want their demographic to be extinct, which is, it seems like this is where we're going here. What makes you think they care about other demographic guys? They just want to have a high moral ground. That's what it is.
Was not beneficial about that. You ended up having an entire land seized, which was rich in resource, led to a massive population boom, led to the strongest military on Earth, led to even global peace. You could make the argument it led to global peace. So tell me, lady, how is it not conducive to humans? Even if it is the case, I grant this entire thing, that we went and we just shish kebabbed up the Indians because it was the funniest funny thing we could ever think of doing. Tell me how that wasn't conducive to humans flourishing, because it seems like we flourished fine. Explain it.
Using what? We could get into that if you want.
This conversation with you. I also think that we could argue that it led to the invention of the nuclear bomb in some capacity, which could be the death of us all, frankly. So I'm not sure if like us developing weapons capable of like wiping all of us out. I think that that's actually
this is so ChatGPT, man. It's great,
Wait,
bro.
you mean
there's, like,
wait, you mean a nuclear armistice where every country now has the ability to obliterate each other, and none of them do because if they did, there would be nuclear retaliation, which has led to the most global stability we've ever fucking seen. How is that? Again, I'm not even making the claim here all countries having nukes is good. I'm not even making the claim having nukes is good. I'm only making the counterclaim to you that this is somehow not conducive to human flourishing. Prove it. Prove it.
nuclear weapons? I mean,
Yeah,
I would
prove
say
it.
that there is a pretty significant conflict
Yeah.
in.
Do we
Iran
bomb?
between
Okay, should we
Israel.
have not nuked the Japanese?
No,
No.
we should not.
No.
The war was almost over.
horrible.
Wow, this
Can
is
you
people,
look-
bro. These people. I'm telling you, if we didn't do that, guys, we would still be in war. We will be probably still in war, bro. The Japanese were never gonna surrender, guys. That's the hard truth. The Japanese will never. The bomb created a lot of bad stuff. I understand, but it was that or just delete another millions and millions of people because they were not gonna surrender. It's in their culture. It's a samurai ethic. It's the samurai code. I just don't understand. It's the samurai code, guys. They were not going to surrender.
Look up what the estimates would have been of the deaths had we not nuked the Japanese.
There you go. Come on,
Actually,
Andrew.
we could have conceded on the whole emperor being a divine individual thing, and the Japanese would have taken our deals. So that's kind of like up in the air. People
Wait
are
a
not
second. Wait a
really-
second.
What?
I'm sorry. You said earlier, and I got the note here, retaliatory fighting is fine because it's self-defense. Did the Japanese attack us at Pearl Harbor?
I think that at that point we had retaliated in a proportionate manner. Thus,
So what you really mean
There's
is you should only be
proportionality.
able to respond in a proportional manner.
yes, Andrew. So if you piss me
Yo,
off,
this is on. This is.
it would be
Yo,
insane.
and this is not enough to tell you why VOTE giving to them the VOT was important, was a bad mistake. This right here, we should have responded, but you know what? Not too harsh. Even though they deleted about a lot of our Americans right there in Pearl Harbor, right? No. It shouldn't have been that bad, right? We shouldn't have done. This is why we have to really consider moving forward with some different ideologies that can help us just mitigate some of these mistakes, guys. This right here, the VOTE to people like her, because this is how they think. This is how they even make laws. They think like this, guys.
If I were to show up to your house and torch it, right? That would be crazy. That would be a lot, right? Just because you annoy me. Like if I
Yeah,
burned
but
your
why
house
would
down,
that be a
that'd
lot?
Crazy.
Why would that be a lot, though?
Because it is not equal to the insult that you dealt me.
So if it is the case then that I'm fighting with a man who is weaker than myself, but he punches me first, I should only use an equal amount of force to stop that threat?
Yes.
So if it is the case...
When my younger siblings have hit me before, I have not, I'm 10 years older than my younger sister and 6 years older than my baby brother. There was a point in time where I was larger than my little brother.
Okay.
When they kicked me or punched me, I didn't use all of my power to break their fucking noses, even though I
see.
could have.
So if
Because
somebody
I
breaks...
understand that if someone is physically weaker than them, than me, it is not appropriate to use all
So
of
then,
my
by
power
this
to
logic,
decimate
if
them.
somebody broke into your house and made the stated declaration that they're only there to take your stuff but won't hurt you, you should not be able to retaliate with physical violence, correct?
I mean, they're on your property, so...
Wait a
it's kind of
second.
threat.
Oh, wait a second.
They're in your property. Yeah, they're in your property. So Pearl Harbor was what? Our property. Pearl Harbor, before we became a state, it was a territory of the United States, right? And it was our property. You messed up big time in this one.
Has to be proportional, though, remember? So if a person shows up to your house and says, I'm just here to take all your stuff, but I'm not going to hurt you, the only proportional thing you could do back would be to take their stuff, right?
No, it's not about doing the exact same thing.
Oh, it's not. So what does proportional mean then?
Like within the same range.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean?
crazy.
If a person's walking out with my
this is
TV
crazy,
and I blast
man.
his ass, is that permitted?
I mean, depends on the state you're in. But personally, for
No,
me,
I'm asking
how I
you.
would handle that.
Yeah.
I would probably shoot him in the leg or something. I don't know.
Oh, so you think so? You would shoot him in the femoral artery?
No, not the thigh. The leg.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Is the thigh part of the leg?
Well, hang on. What is the greatest?
There we go.
deterrent
This simp,
to-
bro. This simp is a real one, huh? This guy is a real one. We have to leave it here, but this simp is a real one, man. When Chuck or Charles is just in a turnbuckle on the corner, he has to jump in and just save her, bro. It's such a simp, man. And she doesn't respect him. That's the thing. She does not respect him. She does not respect him because of that same action. If the guy would just back off and just let her just, get her hands dirty a little bit, she'll probably respect him. But the fact that he's jumping in when she's in a corner, she's not going to respect him. I know. She's not a man. A man will probably respect you, say, hey, man, thank you so much for protecting me. I didn't know what to do. You coming in and just saving my face and goes back and forward. I was not doing very well. But the fact that you came in and helped me out, that's a man perspective. A female perspective, you do this, you're a simp. Weird, I know. It's just weird, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. I'll see you in the next one.